world who we are. Jackpot.
Mother, what do we take?
Everything.
The category is royalty.
How does someone as talented as you wind up dancing for a whole bunch of junkies?
I want to be a star.
You ever consider joining a house?
What do you mean?
Well, a house is a family you get to choose.
I have bigger dreams of performing at some ball. I have nowhere else to go. Come here.
Hey, I'm Kay Montgomery with the Buzz 360. We're at PaleyFest today, where Polis is about to walk the red carpet. Let's get started.
It's incredible. It's a surreal experience, you know? But I think one of the things that I learned as a young boy growing up in the Bronx is like, you can't take no for an answer. You know, you have to trust that inner compass, you know, you have to trust your gut. And I always believed that this story would be told at some point and that it deserved to be told, you know, that there are so many narratives, you know, that deserve to be told and aren't being centered, right? And I think specifically for the LGBT community, especially for Black folks and for Latin folks, like our stories are just never told, you know, and if they are, we aren't at the center of telling the story, you know, and so I had to believe in my heart of hearts that at some point, regardless of all the no's, that I would hear a yes, you know, and I think that that's been the biggest lesson for me that I always try to tell young aspiring storytellers is like, you know, you can hear 400 no's, but as long as you hear that one yes, that's really all that matters, and you never know when that yes is coming, so you just have to keep moving forward.
Where did you find the inspiration to play Angel?
Well, Angel, a lot of her experiences are really parallel to my own. So I think like the experiences that I've had in my life inspired me. My love for my community inspired me, and also the opportunity that I was given to have a regular role on television as one of my first projects was also very inspiring to me. To create Angel, well, to tell her story, but yeah, I think like all of those things were in my inspiration.
Good evening and good morning, hookers.
I know it's hot. I said good evening and good morning, hookers.
Pray Tell is truly based on me and my life and what I've lived. You know, it's sort of an alter ego of myself. There's a lot of it that's sort of based on what I lived. I came out in 1985. My generation, we went straight to the front lines to fight for our lives. I lost more friends to AIDS by the time I was 21 than my grandmother had lost at 83. You know, like, that's what we lived. So to be able to be a part of something that reminds people that we were here, we are here, we will always be here, we're never going anywhere, so get used to it. It's so awesome to be in a position to creatively do that. Yeah.
Are you surprised at all by the show's success?
Yeah. It's such a strange and never done before series, right? There's so many firsts that we've done on this show, from, you know, having the most LGBT characters on screen, you know, the largest ensemble of trans women as series regulars on a network television show, in addition to me being able to be the first trans woman of color to write and direct an episode of television. And so in that sense, it's a lot of pinch me moments, because we've kind of been trailblazers in this sense, and to have the reception on top of that, not only from the critics, but also from viewers who are from the community loving the series, viewers not from the community loving the series, mothers all around the world, you know, seeing Blanca as like their, you know, their goddess. Yes, exactly. So yeah, it's really, really humbling and amazing.
I have a question for you about your character. Electra has been through a lot in season 1. We saw her successfully transition. She lost her sugar daddy. She went through a lot. So what prepared you to take on such a meaty role?
I lived it. I knew the women that this role encompassed, and it took a few women. We have Avis Pendarvis, we have Octavia St. Laurent, we have Danielle Revlon, we have Princess Janae, we have Pepper LaBeija, we have Pepper Ori Montana, we have Crystal LaBeija. So all of these women, when I saw their attitudes, and I used to be able to speak with Paris Dupree before she passed, and I used to sit in the bar and wonder, why am I listening to this older person tell me all this history? Is it that I'm giving them an ear to vent to, or are they teaching me? And when I got the role and I was reading it, it immediately came back to my mind like, shoot, you were being prepared for something you didn't know. The universe, God, was preparing you to let you know, look, you're going to have to tell this story. And I was ready for it.
So with Blanca, I just wanted to ask you, like, where did you draw the inspiration from to play her?
Well, I mean, I drew the inspiration from a lot of women in my life. I drew it from my grandmother, my mother, and a lot of trans women who aren't here today. So I try to incorporate each and every one of them, combine them together, and put a little bit of me in it, you know, as we all do as actors and actresses, and that's where I got it from.
Absolutely. And for yourself in the show, in terms of the representation of LGBT and, you know, people of color and whatnot, how do you feel about the resonation with the show with the fans? Like, what's your most favorite part about like hearing how the show is portrayed?
Well, I love seeing that a lot of kids in the groups, they're finding themselves through the show. A lot of parents are coming to me and saying, listen, my daughter, she's trans and I'm happy with her and I love her, and whatever she chooses in life, whoever she is in life, how she presents or how she, whether it be with career or whatever, you know, they're very, very accepting and open. And I think that's been the most wonderful part about it, is that people are opening up to the young ones. And they're accepting, and they're just letting them move on. They're not policing who they are as babies. You know, I don't think kids need to be policed. I mean, yes, discipline is needed in order for them to know what's right from wrong. But as far as who they are and who they've been since birth, you can't really determine that. You know, so I think that's the best part. A lot of people are very open and accepting.
And that is how you do a boy.